Jai Shri Ram. Text completion again. The Gibsons. Let's look at the words below. Mediocrity, average. Hubris, arrogant pride. Very proud and very arrogant. Conformism, follow traditions, follow what everyone tells you to do, following rules and following everything. Being a good boy, that's a conformist. Non-conformist does not follow. Maverick, Maverick. Maverick. Maverick means a person who is very independent and he does not conform. Okay, eccentric, crazy. Ostentation, putting up a big show. Hmm? Preposterous, ridiculous, laughable, mindless. The Gibsons were little given. Please underline little given. Little given means not given to. Not given to means not in the habit of. Little given to is an idiomatic phrase. You can even call it a phrasal verb. It means not in the habit of doing this. Little given to. That means they are not likely to do this. Now, little was lost means nothing was lost. A little was lost means something was lost. So, the presence or absence of the article a makes a very big difference. Please be careful. Similarly, few things were lost means hardly anything was lost. A few things were lost means some things were lost. So, a little, a few, few, little. All these are very important. Please pay attention. The Gibsons were little given to. That means these were people who won't do this or won't be doing that. Yes, they are not in the habit of doing such things. They were little given to dash in any form. Not one of them was afraid dash of being and seeming unlike their neighbors. That means they are the type of people who are different, when compared to their neighbors. That means they stand out. So, what is the word that will describe their behavior now? What are they not given to? And they were not afraid of. Okay. Take a pause and work on it. The answer has to be conformism, not afraid of eccentricity. Eccentric means odd. Eccentric also means away from the center. Okay, next one. Recommendation, safeguard, provision, continuation, excess, advance. All simple words. Even after dash against the dash of popular sovereignty were included, major figures in the humanistic discipline remained skeptical, doubtful about the proposal to extend suffrage to the masses. Suffrage is the right to vote. To enfranchise means to give the right to vote. In America, women, I think, were given the right to vote only in 1930, around that time. Okay. And blacks were also denied the right to vote because of that inherent racism that is there, which is unfortunately sanctioned by their holy books also. So slavery is considered good and accepted by their holy books. I don't want to name them, you know what I'm talking about. As a result, this nation, this so-called great democracy, was a flawed democracy to begin with, because it treated African Americans or blacks as if they were beasts or animals. In fact, in New York Bronx Zoo till 1910, they kept a pygmy in the cage. Pygmies are humans. Pygmies are dwarf humans. But, the Americans thought that the pygmy is an animal, and they kept a human being in that. And around 1910, when there was a big protest, that person was released, but he died, he committed suicide. You can imagine, if a human being is treated like an animal and kept in a cage in a zoo for others to see and enjoy, what kind of a torture is that? So suffrage means the right to vote. So, somebody was skeptical about the proposal to extend suffrage. Even after dash were included. So, even after these things were included, if you are skeptical, that means after these things were included, you should actually not be skeptical. I mean, that is how the flow of the sentence is. Well, I leave it to you. Take a pause and work on it. The answer has to be safeguards against the, even after the safeguards against the excess. Okay, excess, yes, that fits. Because in their opinion, extending suffrage to the masses is an excess. In our constitution, Indian constitution also, one of the proposition which was ignored by the drafting committee, and why Dr. Ambedkar ignored it also is a question. The suggestion was that voting right should be given only to graduates. Now you might argue that then our politicians will become so corrupt that they will start freely distributing degrees also. Well, that is a possibility, but nevertheless the advantages would have been there, because this can't be done openly. In some cases, some fake degrees may be distributed for people to enable them to get the right to vote. I think that was a great provision, a great suggestion which should have been included in our constitution. The right to vote should be given only to people who are graduates. Well, these are the ifs and buts of history. Let us leave it there. Next one. Look at the words below. Fervent means very passionate. Rational means logical. Disinterested means impartial. It does not mean uninterested. Vulnerable means susceptible, exposed to danger. Painstaking means taking lot of labor, taking lot of pains. Okay, though science is often imagined as a dash exploration of external reality, scientists are no different from anyone else. They are dash human beings enmeshed in a web of personal and social circumstances. If somebody is enmeshed, irukkupoyaru, kurukupoyaru. Enmeshed means caught up in a mesh. Of what? A web. Of what? Personal and social circumstances. What kind of people? What word would you use to describe somebody who is enmeshed in a web of personal and social circumstances? So I leave it to you. Take a pause. Yes, the answer has to be disinterested, because science is impartial. Science has to be impartial. And scientists are enmeshed. That means they are passionate. That's it. Jai Shri Ram.